There is one fact that 1 in 3 of you watching this right now has a hacked brain. Literally. I am not talking about a manipulative social media algorithm. I am talking about a microscopic parasite currently nesting deep inside your head. This parasite does not just infect you, it actively hijacks the admin rights to your mind. It silently rewrites your personal preferences, violently bends your behavior, and completely reboots your personality operating system. You think you are in absolute control? Come on, wake up. You are just a biological server now. Meet Toxoplasma gondii, or, to put it more amicably, Toxo. It is a single-celled protozoan, microscopic, but its destructive potential is absolutely cosmic. Biologically speaking, this thing is actually more closely related to you than any bacteria, and honestly, that is a terrifying fact. You think you are clean. You think you are completely safe. That is a serious mistake. Anywhere from 10 to 95% of the global human population is currently hosting this exact biological pet right inside their brain tissue. Scientists even found it perfectly preserved inside an ancient Egyptian mummy. That means this microscopic hacker has been tailing humanity for thousands, maybe millions of years. It casually infects almost every single warm-blooded animal on this entire planet. But here is the absolute genius of Toxo. The exact second it infiltrates your system, it immediately activates stealth mode. It creates a latent infection. It causes absolutely zero physical symptoms. It does not make you cough. It does not give you a fever. It does not physically harm its host at all. Why? Because killing the host is a rookie evolutionary mistake. For it, if it outright kills you, who is going to act as its mindless zombie courier? It needs you alive. It needs your hardware functioning perfectly. And it simply just doesn't need your conscious control, not your own anymore. So, it quietly sits in the dark. It waits. And then, it silently rewires your fragile human brain. Nevertheless, Toxo isn't just sitting there for the scenery. It is waiting for a payday that requires a very specific playground, the gut of a predator. And its method? Pure biological horror. Like every living organism on this cursed rock, Toxo has one ultimate objective: reproduction. It just wants to breed. But to achieve that, it is locked behind a massive biological firewall. It can only sexually reproduce in one extremely specific environment: the intestines of a cat.
Nope.
From your average stray tabby to an apex predator tiger, only felines possess the exact digestive acid Toxo desperately needs to initiate its breeding sequence. Once the deed is done, they deploy thousands of microscopic eggs. We call them oocysts, and they are dumped directly into the environment through cat feces. Cat poop is absolutely everywhere. Animals eat it, they track it around, it seeps deep into the soil, it blows in the wind. It silently watches over you while you sleep at night. And you simply cannot escape it. These microscopic biological time bombs are heavily armored. They can easily survive on random surfaces for years without taking a single point of damage. And this is exactly why pregnant women are strictly banned from cleaning litter boxes. Now, imagine you are a standard mouse. You are just harmlessly mousing around your local neighborhood. You accidentally swallow one of these microscopic eggs. That is a massive mistake. Your default factory setting is simple. You smell cat urine, you immediately trigger the red alert, and you run for your absolute life. A perfectly healthy, normal fear response. But when Toxo logs in, your brain software glitches hard. Toxo physically rewires your neural pathways. It hacks directly into your dopamine system. It completely overrides your evolutionary survival instinct and inverts it into a fatal, irresistible attraction. And suddenly, you take a sniff of that toxic cat urine and you think, wow, that odor is magnificent, so splendid, so divine. You literally cannot help but follow its deliciousness. So, you casually stroll right up to the cat's urinal, you hang around, you wait, and then, chomp, game over. You are dead. Biologists call this the fatal attraction phenomenon. Toxo literally turns the mouse into a biological suicide bomber. It completely weaponizes the rodent's brain. It forces the host to kill itself just so the parasite can buy a VIP return ticket back to the cat's stomach. It is not just survival. It is an absolute, undeniable hijacking of free will. Toxo turns a perfectly healthy, functional phobia into a deadly, psychotic obsession. This is easily the most brutal, ruthless, and deeply invasive mind control strategy in all of nature. It proves that extreme biological manipulation is absolutely real. And it is always incredibly effective against weak minds. And right now, you could argue, I weigh a solid 180 pounds. What the hell cat is ever going to munch on my head, just for this parasite to waste its time hacking my brain? Well, fair point. You're big, you're tough, you're the peak of evolution. Or so you think. But I have to say to you that Toxo doesn't care about your ego, your gym PRs, or your logic. At the basic neural level, your brain and that doomed little mouse's brain run on the exact same legacy operating system. It means Toxo wrote a piece of malware specifically to bypass rodent security. And unfortunately for you, your human hardware is 100% compatible with that code. It doesn't need to eat you to win. It just needs a place to sit. Simply put, you're not a victim. You're just collateral damage in its quest for a cat's gut. So, who exactly is on the hit list? Everyone. It's the truth. From shredded gym rats to shut-ins who haven't seen sunlight in a week, no one is an exception. And it's not just about huffing cat litter like a weirdo. Are you enjoying that fancy, medium-rare steak? Congratulations, you just swallowed a live pathogen straight from the muscle tissue of a cow that was already infected. Eating that organic salad that hasn't seen a drop of clean water because you like the earthy taste? Boom, infected. Thousands of these armored eggs sit in the soil and water for years, just waiting for you to shove them into your mouth. And once this malware is installed in your brain, it starts triggering massive, system-wide glitches. Science performed a truly bizarre experiment. They made humans rate the smell of various animal urines. Yeah, science is weird. But the data? Disturbing. Men infected with Toxo actually found the smell of cat urine significantly more pleasant than non-infected men. For women, it was the opposite. They found it more repulsive. Toxo is literally playing with your nervous system like a puppet master, tweaking your sensory inputs to make you compatible with its feline gods. And the personality rewrite? It's real. Infected men tend to become more aggressive, cold, suspicious, and impulsive. They are the guys getting into fights over parking spots. They are the ones with the highest rates of traffic accidents. Why? Because their risk assessment software is crashing. And infected women? They swing the other way. They become warmer, more trusting, and more outgoing. Toxo literally turns women into the perfect recruiters for its cat breeding nursery. It turns your deepest personality traits into a game it controls with a joystick. Beyond just being moody, Toxo is the invisible hand behind high-level psychiatric disorders. It buries itself in your neurons and rewires the circuitry to suit its own agenda. We're talking schizophrenia, OCD, bipolar disorder, and according to the latest research, even chronic anxiety. It uses your own neurotransmitters, like dopamine, to essentially rewire the pathways in your brain. It's a background app that eats your RAM and corrupts your files while you're trying to live a normal life. Now, let us zoom out. What happens when this parasite hacks an entire society? Imagine an ancient tribe infected collectively. They might develop more aggressive traditions, more tribal warfare, or extreme gender roles simply because of the chemical shifts in their brains. The ultimate example? Ancient Egypt. We know they worshipped cats. They built statues, wrote laws to protect them, and mummified them as gods. But what if it wasn't divine love? What if an entire empire was suffering from a collective Toxo-induced brainwash? What if the parasite planted an ideology to ensure humans protected, fed, and bred its ideal nursery? It sounds like a sci-fi thriller, but nature is often that cruel. We aren't building civilizations, we're building habitats for parasites. So, how do you patch this security hole? Bad news. Once it's in your brain, it's there for life. There is no uninstall button for your neurons. It stays dormant, waiting for your immune system to lag so it can activate. Good news, you can block the installation. Stop eating raw meat like a caveman. High heat is the only thing that burns this malware out. Wash your damn vegetables. Wash your hands after touching dirt. And most importantly, if you are pregnant, stay far away from the litter box. Let someone else handle the biological waste. And don't let a mind control parasite rewrite the neural code of your unborn child before they even have a chance to boot up. Nature is beautiful, sure, but it's also brutally honest. It doesn't care about your free will. It only cares about the most effective survival strategy. And right now, its strategy involves using you as a mindless, biological server. Patch your system before you lose the admin rights forever. We boast about being at the absolute peak of the food chain. But reality is a cold slap in the face. 1/3 of humanity is currently acting as a pathetic biological slave for a single-celled bug, all so it can get laid inside a cat's gut. So next time you find yourself simping for a cat like a mindless fanboy, ask yourself, do you actually like the cat? Or is the parasite in your brain tissue just mashing the buttons? This is dark animal psychology. And if you have the stomach for these raw, unfiltered truths, hit like and subscribe to support the channel. Stay savage. See you in the next one.